I'm cheating so many items right now, but I don't care because this is my game and I can do what I want. Yes. Hello everyone, my name is Formalligator, the formal alligator, and welcome back to week 8. We've been doing this for 8 weeks straight now. And yes, I changed my avatar, but that doesn't matter because everything changes on this channel because it's about improvement and progress. And that's what I have for you right now. Let's go. So first of all, the journey locations have been added back in. So we now have castles, camps, and hideouts. And they all have their own tile sets, they all have their own, things that make them different, their own level generation, rooms that can be in them. They are proper locations now. If we start this castle journey, it will load all of the levels in one go right now, so you don't have to load while you're in the journey. So this is the ground floor of the castle. It has its own tile sets, its own floor. It's just a little square looking castle looking floor that I made, and it's been overrun by bandits, and that's why there are a lot of bandits in here. If we make our way to the ladders, this is the ladder that goes down and there is the ladder that goes up. I do not want to die right now. This is the ladder that goes down, this is the ladder that goes up. When we go down this ladder, you can see that there's a bit of a transition now. I've added these little transitions so it doesn't just teleport you to the next location. And the name flashes on top of the screen when you go to a new journey part. So this is the cellar and you just were in the actual castle. If we now exit the castle and go back to the main menu, and go into a hideout, which are also new. The hideouts are supposed to be caves where certain types of enemies have set their base. So if I do not die, oh no, help. Yes, certain enemies will set camp into a hideout, and this hideout is populated by cultists. And as you can see, this cultist has on something red. They have on red cultist robes or cultist armor. There are now cultist robes for the mages, cultist armor for the knights. Let's see here. They should both have on cultist armor. Oh no. I will work on the enemy AI next week. I said I was going to do this week, but I really just fixed a lot of things and changed a lot of things this week, which took longer than I expected. But this week is going to be entirely focused on the enemy AI, and I have a lot of ideas. I just sat down and wrote ideas for like an hour, and then I turned it into a plan, and now I'm very excited to start working on the enemy AI and the combat system in general, because right now everything is a bit broken and not really working what combat is concerned. Okay, if we spawn a bunch of items, you can see that there is now a little text that tells you what item just spawned. And I will increase my level while we're doing this so that we can spawn a bunch of good items. You can see the color starting to get better and better and better as we level up and spawn more items. So now that we spawned a bunch of items, here we go. We have the cultist armor, and this is a godly armor because it has a great enchantment and stuff. These are the cultist robes, which is not an armor, it's a garment. I have changed the armor type to be split into two, so you now have robes or garments and armor. So this cloth is also a garment, the robes are a garment, these linen robes are also garments, and like this hood is a hood, it's not a helmet anymore, it's also a garment. This is a helmet, this is a helmet, everything is hard, is a helmet. This is the cultist helmet, cultist boots. Yeah, so you have cultist armor and cultist robes. They are made of two different materials, red steel and red linen. Yes, and they have their own effects and stuff. Very cool. Now this hideout journey is in a cave, like I said, and the generation, I changed the generation so that it actually kind of looks like a cave, and it has, these little walls all over the place, and the rooms are almost like they're dug out of an existing cave, And like the dungeon generation takes care of which rooms go where, so I don't have to think about it. This room starts somewhere like kind of here-ish, but like I don't know. This is a different room from this room, and it stops here, but it has like a really big entrance, and the dungeon generation just takes care of everything, which is the way I designed it. So I'm very happy right now that I did it that way, because sometimes you design things that are meant for implementation in the future. And this is one of those cases where I could change a few variables to put into the dungeon generation, and it just gave me a cave. So that's very cool to see things work out like they're supposed to. You could tell me in the comments what you think about the castle journey and the cave hideout journey. And these are locations. Like the actual journey is the mission. Like here, this clear out Camden hideout. You go into the cave and you eliminate this cultist leader, and then this priesthood will give you a reward. That's the idea. But right now it's just implemented very basically. That's not a word. Very basic. It has very basic implementation, right? There's one more thing which was added, which I forgot to mention. These circlets, they are equipable. They have an enchantment, a material, and a kind. They are an accessory, just like these rings, but they can be on your head. At the bottom we have a little bit of a loadout GUI. It tells you what you are equipping, and it tells you the charge of your weapon. And when you're using a consumable, it tells you that you are using this consumable. That was pretty much it for today. One more thing that I want to talk about was what it means for me to be an alpha. Different developers have their own ideas of what alpha and beta means, and the definition of it that I could find online is like very vague. So my idea of alpha, beta, and pre-alpha is that in pre-alpha I was working on everything that made the game like runnable rather than playable, so that you could actually run it. You could go into a dungeon and you could walk around and collision would be there and all these basic things. The engine would be okay, the rendering would work. I salvaged everything from my last attempt making this game. And once that was done and I could actually work on, you know, mechanics and implementation and stuff, then I went to alpha. We are now in alpha v 0.5.1.12. We've been in 0.5.1 for a very long time because this is the update where I wanted everything about the journeys to be good, to be solid, and so that like this is pretty much done for now. And now I can move to 0.6, which will be combat and enemy AI, and make the game really fun, you know. I'm excited to work on it, and I will see you next week with the progress in 0.6. Thank you everyone who's been following the journey. If you're new here, consider subscribing, liking if you want, or leaving a comment with your feedback, ideas, or any thoughts you have. I'll read them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good whatever. Goodbye.